How about you be on your back the whole game too, you punk?
Yeah, but you gon' feel it, Cooley. I'm telling you, you gon' feel it.
I told you keep that camera running, you might miss something.
We're gonna be in your face and letting you know the real talk.
This is the NFL, which stands for not for long.
Well, if week one wasn't enough for you, the National Football League rolls on. This is week two here on the Not For Long Pro Football Show. It's Clint Switzer. It's Noah Gronniger. It's great to be here. We're talking football. And we've got our special video correspondent, Sean Salisbury, coming up yet again. Can't wait to see what Sean Smack Unfiltered is going to look like this week, Noah.
Oh, I just cannot wait. Last week was great. He was talking all about the AFC West. The Chargers relying just on Phillip Rivers, but they came with a little bit more for the Kansas City Chiefs. Keenan Allen was a nightmare for anyone in that Chiefs secondary. Marcus Peters even had trouble. But the Kansas City Chiefs came storming back after down 24-3 with their biggest comeback in franchise history. I don't know what was said in that locker room, but it had to be intense. It had to wake up this football team who was dead in the water that first half. They came storming back into overtime, and Alex Smith gets it done on the goal line, calling his own number to get into that end zone.
Well, I wrote an article for our website, Great American Sports Network, this week that talked about this. It's hard to silence 76,000 people on a National Football League a home opener for the Chiefs on 9/11 with the flag, with the pageantry, with everything that went on.
The loudest crowd in professional football, 142.2 decibels, beating out the Seattle Seahawks, and they were dead silent.
It was dead silent for the first half. We text back and forth during this game, Noah. This was a dead football team. Absolutely no passion. There was every single snap the Chargers were winning. They had defenders in the backfield. The Chiefs could apply no pressure. The combination of Frank Zombo and Dee Ford was absolutely dreadful. The Kansas City Chiefs did nothing right for the first half of that game. And in fact, with only 11 minutes to go, it was still a 27-10 ball game. The Chiefs had to come all the way back. And you know what? They did it without anything fancy. They didn't have to rely on any onside kicks, any missed field goals like Denver did. They did not have to rely on a Hail Mary. The Chiefs came back with timely. They executed.
It was very efficient in that second half. Spencer Ware, yes.
He's your player of the game. And I'll tell you, Alex Smith did a great job too, because he put the team on his back. You saw the fire and the passion that you've been waiting to see for him for a decade. And the Chiefs got this thing done. And you may say, hey, San Diego, not one of the best teams in the AFC, maybe a last place team in the AFC West. But you know what? On an opening game, this is a big game. It's a divisional game. The Chiefs needed to win this, and they did. And that's going to give them all the positive momentum, I think, in the world that they need going forward.
Oh, it definitely is. I mean, this is something that could have derailed the season if it kept going the way it was in that first half, and losing a giant margin at a home opener for the Kansas City Chiefs against a team that no one's expecting anything from. And you look at the rest of the AFC West, the Denver Broncos beating the Carolina Panthers with Trevor Siemian at quarterback throwing 2 interceptions. The running back lost a fumble. The Raiders coming back and beating the Saints with a last-second 2-point conversion. They knew Drew Brees was just going to march right down if they tied the game. So a great move by Jack Del Rio, really igniting those troops, showing faith in that offense, and that could catapult the Raiders to a much better season than we were projecting at 8-8.
Their defense is suspect. Drew Brees was able to carve right through it. And Denver's one of those teams. I just don't like the Denver Broncos, and I never have, and I never will. And I'll tell you, the fact that they came out and got that win after we had Sean on last week and talked about what is this football team doing? What are they doing to move forward? Well, it looks like they still have one of the most dominant defenses, and they did get lucky to win that game. I'm sorry, I don't use that word much, but Carolina misses a field goal. They're headhunters out there. I'm sorry, this is a dirty football team. Headhunting, helmet to helmets, no penalties assessed.
Cam Newton's never getting those calls because he's big and physical, and they just expect him to take that punishment.
Exactly. Fines levied, though, this week to the Denver Broncos. That shows you something, and I don't know how they're going to hold up. You talk about not for long. What's not for long? This Denver team is not going to hold up over 16 games. For me, that's my not for long for the week. The Denver Broncos are not going to hold up. Now, they do host the Colts on this Sunday, and I like Denver in that game. We saw the Colts at home get beat by the Detroit Lions. I did not like what I saw from the Colts, specifically on defense, a concern we had about them all along. Andrew Luck is back. Looks like he's putting up some big numbers. He did week 1. Going into Denver, I do not like their chances at all in that game.
I definitely do not, with them going up against that Broncos defense and their porous Colts offense. I mean, we weren't expecting much from these Detroit Lions since they lost Calvin Johnson, but maybe it does help out a little bit that he's not Matt Stafford isn't trying to force balls to Calvin. He just spreads it out across the field. Any player is free to get the ball. You can always be looking for it. You can always be expecting it. No players running half half-assed out there because they're expecting Calvin Johnson. Oh, he's just going to force it to Calvin 20 times a game. It's probably not coming to me. So I really like what I saw from the Lions. My not for long this week is everything in Los Angeles. Those Los Angeles Rams, Case Keenum, not for long. They have to get Jared Goff on the field. I don't care if he's not ready. How can he be any worse than what Case Keenum was doing, throwing sideline to sideline? He wasn't getting the ball vertical. And Jeff Fisher, he cannot be for long. He looked uninterested in his team failing out there. Aaron Donald getting ejected, slamming his helmet down on the field. The St. Louis Rams aren't for long. And I think we're going to hear a little bit more about that from our special video correspondent. Again, we are bringing that nuke to a knife fight. And we're going to go for more on those Los Angeles Rams and some young quarterback situations with our guest, the one, the only, the best, Sean Salisbury.
All right, fellas, thanks. Yeah, week 2, my unfiltered take on the Not For Long NFL show. This week it's about having some guts to prove to your team that you mean business and allowing young guys to grow up and learn on the job. Take a look at what happened to the Raiders. Jack Del Rio sends a message, we're going for 2. A loud, big old stones, big balls down to his ankles message saying, my team's not going to go the way the Raiders used to. We're going for it on 2. We're going to force ourselves to win a game. Sends a message to your team. How about the Eagles getting rid of your starting quarterback and you run Carson Wentz, who's had a half of football and was injured during training camp? Look what he does in his opening game. Now let's get to the Rams. Rams, you're not going anywhere. You're not a very good team. You start Case Keenum, who's a backup, and I'm okay with those guys. I was one. Who, you know what you get from him. He's a journeyman who's going to be a guy that comes off the bench, who's going to win you a game or 2, and who's going to lose you some games. Did you watch the game the other night? If Jared Goff is that bad, then we're in trouble. The Rams got to grow a set, and he drafted him with the first pick. Send his ass out there, meaning Jared Goff. Nobody knows how good he's going to be. We've had the Aikmans be great. We've had other first picks of the draft, Jamarcus Russell, never make it. So let's test him. Let's find out what he's all about. Stick Jared Goff out on the field. Let him learn on the job and find out what kind of mental, emotional, and physical toughness he has. If he goes 3-13, oh well, at least we'll know next year what he's got experience-wise. Throw your quarterback out there, let him learn, let him grow a set of nuts, and let him learn the hard way. That's getting your teeth kicked in and bouncing back. That's how you gain respect from your teammates. I'm Sean Salisbury. I'll see you next week. Back to you guys.
Well, there you have it. It sounds like Sean was about as big of a fan of Case Keenum and the Los Angeles Rams as you were, as you talked about before we brought him on, and Sean's completely right, and I agree, Sean, 100%. Thanks so much for joining us again, man. Can't wait for next week already, because that's Sean Smack Unfiltered. You know, I could listen to us talk all day. No, I couldn't. Sean is the best in the business, and he is on this show exclusively on the Not For Long show here on the Great American Sports Network.
He is.
And we're grateful to have him.
We are. If you want to hear any more unfiltered takes from Sean, not just on the NFL, he does college football. He even does a little bit of politics if that's your thing on the side. And he'll talk about anything in the news. He always brings it unfiltered, uncensored. That's Sean Salisbury. Catch him on Twitter at Sean Unfiltered.
Things that we were more impressed by, I tell you what, when you look at the AFC and we talked about who are the best teams coming into this, you got to like what you see from the New England Patriots, also the Pittsburgh Steelers. Starting with New England, they go to Arizona and they get a win that nobody thought they were going to get with Jimmy Garoppolo making his first start. You've got no Rob Gronkowski, no Nate Solder, no Rob Ninkovich. They go in and when they win this game, and I know they had to, again, another missed field goal had to occur for that to happen. But New England gets this win. They play Miami this week. They're going to be 2-0. People talked about, if they could just get to 2-2, well, they're going to be at least 3-1, probably maybe even 4-0 by the time they go play Cleveland without RG3, with Josh McCown and Tom Brady coming back in Week 5. Noah, New England, to me, when they get those pieces back, I'm sorry, that's number one, and that's all there is to it. They're number one in my power rankings.
It has to be. That win was just improbable, unfathomable to me. I thought the Cardinals would win going away. Once I heard Gronkowski was out, I was like, where's Garoppolo going to go with the ball? I mean, yeah, you've got Edelman, but he's just going to have to check it down. They don't really have a strong running game. They're missing pieces on defense, on the offensive line. Garoppolo's going to be under fire. Chandler Jones is going to be fired up going against his old team that he's a Cardinal. But they just lost that game. They didn't have anything against those Patriots. And this is a team that most people were projecting as a Super Bowl contender and most favorite in the NFC to go to the Super Bowl. And you heard Bruce Arians after the game coming after their first-round pick, Robert Kimdichie, is saying just a poor effort, poor play out there.
We've heard that from him for years. So
yes, they have.
Stands to reason.
You thought his first game in the NFL, maybe he'd show a little thing, have something to prove after hearing about that in college. And he went after Chandler Jones, their first pickup, after he was celebrating on the field. He's like, that's not what we're about as the Arizona Cardinals. And if he's going to keep doing that, players like that just won't be around anymore. So could he be traded after just arriving there with Arizona? So there's a lot of storylines from that game, the poor play from Arizona after we were expecting so much more from that team.
Yeah. One thing I want to get into, but before we head out for the week, is I want to talk about hangovers, specifically teams from the Chiefs division, from the AFC West, because you had 3 big wins, 3 close wins from the Chiefs, Broncos, and Raiders. Now the Chiefs are going to go to Houston to take on the Texans. Of course, we talked about Indianapolis coming into Denver and the Raiders taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Hangovers. Do you see any hangovers here, or can all 3 of these teams emerge from week 2 2-0? Because that's what I have going on.
Yeah, we mentioned how the Broncos definitely have the advantage over the Colts. The Colts' defense is porous. Andrew Luck did show out against the Detroit Lions, but that defense is nothing like what he's going to see in Denver. So I definitely like the Broncos in that game. You've got the Raiders going against the Falcons. The Falcons didn't show me a lot. They came on late against a porous Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. I don't see a lot coming from them. And the Raiders are definitely catapulted by Jack Del Rio's faith and confidence in them, giving them that bravado, and that's going to carry over into this week. I see a hangover coming for our Kansas City Chiefs against those Houston Texans. I don't like what they show. You're wondering, are they really fortified now that they're saying, okay, we found ourselves in that second half, really that fourth quarter against the San Diego Chargers? Or are they thinking we can just come out with that lackadaisical effort against these Texans and just turn it on when we need to and we'll win the game? That's going to be a big question in week 2 for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I like what the Houston Texans showed. I talked last week about Lamar Miller's inconsistency throughout his career. He was consistent last week. Will Fuller, the rookie wide receiver out of Notre Dame, showed up. DeAndre Hopkins turned down for what? He's coming around that edge. So I think the Houston Texans are going to show out, and they're going to beat our Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, Chiefs are a much better football team than the Houston Texans. We saw what happened the 2 times Kansas City went to Houston last year. They're going to go down there and they're going to get a big win. In fact, you know what? This is what it's all about today. It's about the Kansas City Chiefs. The momentum from that win, buddy. The momentum from that win against San Diego is going to carry over. No hangover for this Chiefs team because they're going to go down to Houston. They're going to pound.
We're not facing Brian Hoyer. We're not facing Ryan Mallett.
Brock Osweiler. You can keep Brock Osweiler, pal. I'll tell you what.
Hey, he's way improved over those two. And they showed out. He's got Hopkins. He's got Fuller. He's got a running back. And Lamar Miller can swing out and catch some swing passes, some wheel routes. I like what the Texans have.
Well, he has no J.J. Watt. Right now, the Texans, we're not sure what in the world, what they're going to be without their best player, J.J. Watt. That's what they build their franchise around, is this defensive end. He's great. But you know what? The Chiefs are going to go down there. They're going to win this game. Alex Smith, the confidence he's getting in these receivers with Conley, Jeremy Maclin, Travis Kelce. We saw Spencer Ware, what he was able to do.
We saw Spencer Ware, what he was able to do.
So I see no hangover for the Kansas City Chiefs. I see them coming out of this 2-0. And it's going to be interesting, though. I think you're going to see a lot of wild games, a lot of wild finishes. San Diego plays Jacksonville in a game that the Chargers can't afford to lose, by the way. Or they're going to
Jacksonville Jaguars impressed me during that game with the Green Bay Packers, so that's going to be interesting. We've got the Steelers and Bengals. That's a huge game. The Bengals really shocked me by going out and beating that Jets team that people were expecting a lot from, maybe winning the AFC West. How we mentioned people weren't expecting much out of the Patriots. And the Steelers, I really expect a lot from them, the second best team, especially when Brady gets back in the AFCs.
Well, guys, we can't thank you enough for joining us. This is we're going to be doing this all year long with Sean Salisbury, Sean Smack Unfiltered, exclusively here on the Not For Long Show. And I tell you what, it's going to be a great weekend of football. It always is. Every day that there's football is a good day. It means that we don't have to worry about seeing any baseball. It'll be on all the weird Fox channels.
We're moving closer to the baseball season. We're getting underway. It's such a good time of year. I'm so excited. I'm just thrilled to have football back. I cannot believe it.
Thanks so much, guys, for joining us. We'll catch you next week, and we'll see what Sean has for us, see what we have for you, because you know what? We're bringing it uncensored as well here on the Not For Long Show. Thank you so much.
Hey guys, Sean Salisbury here. Now, are you ready? It's NFL season time, and if you're ready for my unfiltered NFL take each week, here's where you're going to find it. Every single Thursday, all year long and throughout the playoffs, leading right up to the Super Bowl, you're going to get my unfiltered take. We're going to be in your face and letting you know the real talk. If you don't like real talk and you're a fence sitter, you don't want to tune in every Thursday for my unfiltered take on the NFL. If you like unfiltered talk, this is a place to find it, right here on the Not For Long NFL show. Get your best football talk right here. We'll see you every single week.
Off the field, baby. Deuces, man. Y'all have a nice ride. Take it easy. Get the field, man. Game over with. Deuces, man. Hey, you lost to a sorry team, baby. Get the off field.
Enjoy watching this in January.
You suck. You wanted this noise. You wanted this noise. You wanted this noise.
Go, man.
So, man, you're doing more damn talking than you are damn playing today. You're doing more talking than you are playing today, Herschel.
I told you to keep that camera running. You might miss something.
Brady, it's a chess match. What? Yeah.
What? Bring it, you little man. I'll knock you out. I'll knock you out. Whoop your man. Yeah, how about you be on your back the whole game too, you punk?
Hell of a game.
They stayed away from Richard Sherman all day long.
You better tell him to get it down, Cooley.
Hit me all you want.
Yeah, but you gonna feel it, Cooley. I'm telling you, you gonna feel it. You picked that. That's a somebody. That's a look at this, ref. I promise you. You hear me? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Beat the traffic. Beat the traffic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, hell of a game, boy. Way to work out there. Hey, what you gonna do, boy? I'm gonna punch you in your. Hey, do it then, boy. He punched me in my face. What you mean? I didn't do nothing. He came up to me. Hey, come see us. Come see about us. Come see about us.
Hey, little fat punk. Ain't nothing happening. Hey, baby. We're gonna be here all day. We're gonna be here all day, baby.
Hey, Max, at this point, you gotta be at least a little bit nervous. What do you think? You sure?
Ball fumble on the play. It's loose at the 27-yard line, and the Texans recover.
Stop it, man. Punk ass off
You don't need.
Turn around, let me see your name. Turn around, let me see your name. Turn around. I don't know you, bro.
You ain't blocking. You're not blocking me, dude.
Best one, put it down. Best corner of the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me.
Who was talking about you?
Crabtree, don't you open your mouth about the best. Or I'm going to shut it for you real quick. LOB. I'm so good at 6. Ow, face me. I'll break your no. All right. Bang it, baby.
Easy. You gotta go do that now?
Yeah.
All right. I've eaten burritos bigger than you.